but may perhaps be the closest and most accurate signal to how successful you'll be. It is called PD, point differential. The leader in college football right now in point differential is Alabama. 3 of the 4 teams remaining in baseball, Astros, Dodgers, Red Sox, lead in run differential. Over the course of a season, the best teams historically separate from others. More blowouts, fewer big losses. If I told you, who do you think leads the NFL in point differential? You'd be like, Rams. You're right. Chiefs. You're right. The Chicago Bears have the exact same point differential as the Kansas City Chiefs. You see that right there? Rams, Chiefs, Bears. Let me ask you something. Well, Colin, you proved that it really matters. Okay. Do you know who led the NFL last year in point differential? Patriots, Eagles. Do you know who led the year before? Patriots, Falcons. In fact, since 2013, the leader in point differential has made the Super Bowl every year. In fact, there's only one team, the Arizona Cardinals in 2015, that were top 2 in the NFL in point differential and didn't make the Super Bowl. And if I recall, Arizona made the NFC Championship. Lost to the Panthers, who, by the way, had a better point differential. Folks, Bama, baseball, football, point differential is how you know who's separating. There are 3 things everybody wants in the NFL right now. You want a young roster full of good players. Check. You'd like a dominating defensive front. Bears, check. You'd love to have a clever young coach. Matt Nagy, check. Now, I don't think Mitch Trubisky is special, but he's younger and healthier than Aaron Rodgers, and he's got Matt Nagy working for him. The minute John Gruden inexplicably decided, I don't see the value in Khalil Mack, and the Packers had a chance to get him passed and the Bears got him, I said, you'll rue the day. Because you're going to face Khalil Mack 10 times next 5 years minimum. He could be alongside Aaron Rodgers at practice. He'll be Aaron Rodgers' number 1 target 10 times next 5 years. Actually already faced him once. Help hurt him. It'll be 9. I think Packers and their fan base thought Minnesota was their only roadblock in that division. You start looking at point differential. They got the right coach. Their defense is sick. Almost all their good players are young and signed up for a while. That's the Aaron Rodgers dilemma. That's why you had to get Khalil Mack away from Chicago once the stories surfaced that he was available. For the record, the Raiders last in the NFL in sacks, and the Bears are number 1 in the NFL in 4 or 5 different categories, including getting to the quarterback. What ails Aaron Rodgers? Well, I'm not sure this moment, but for the next 5 years, Chicago is going to be what ails him. Joy Taylor with the news.
No. Heard on the news. This is the Herdline News.
All right, this conversation just keeps seeming to reappear. The struggle of being LeBron's teammate.
Oh, come now.
The new face of the Cavs, you mentioned him earlier, Kevin Love. I have this to say to Brian Windhorst. You have to follow. You have to learn a lot about that. You're not the top guy. I just tried to continue to be myself and not fake it. I said how I felt. Whether we disagreed or agreed, my voice was heard. You have to be resilient. I had a lot of hard nights. There were dark times, but I always believed keep fighting.
Time out. So Kevin Love came out and said, when you play with LeBron, you have to kind of follow him. Well, I'll be. And that is amazing. Do you mean if you're a slot receiver with Aaron Rodgers, he's going to lead you? You'd probably listen to Aaron Rodgers? Yes, of course. Kevin Love would have to sort of follow LeBron's lead. How outrageous of a claim.
I mean, look, I'm not going to judge what Kevin Love
Is this a controversy in America today?
I mean, are people upset about what Kevin Love's saying? I don't know. I mean, it should be common knowledge. It's hard to play alongside a superstar. I'm sure it wasn't easy to play with Michael Jordan. We know it wasn't easy to play with Kobe Bryant. It's not easy to play with LeBron James. It's not easy to play with Tom Brady sometimes. They demand greatness. There's a different level of expectations when you're playing with the best player on the planet.
Especially with basketball. Small court, one ball. LeBron's a ball handler. Of course LeBron's going to say, if the Cavs would like to have Kevin Love set up LeBron the previous 4 years, let's see that works out. Okay, Kevin, you bring the ball up, and LeBron will just follow you around the court like a puppy dog. Come on!
I mean, look, Kevin Love got a little bit of the Chris Bosh treatment that happened in Miami, where you're kind of the third option, and when you don't play well, you get a lot of heat because you're not LeBron James, so you're expected to be on a different level every night.
Right.
So when you're the reason why the team is not playing well because LeBron's playing well and Kyrie's playing well, and it's like, where are you at?
Guess what, Joy? It's hard to work in a kitchen with Gordon Ramsay, or you can go work at Applebee's.
It's hard to work under expectations, but this is professional sports. There's expectations, and when you're playing alongside LeBron James, it is what it is. Dark times. So James Conner has had up and downs this season, but he is one of only 4 running backs with 300-plus yards rushing and 200-plus yards receiving through 5 weeks. Le'Veon Bell is expected to return to the Steelers in the next few weeks, and the question is, what will happen with Conner's workload? Well, Big Ben believes that Conner shouldn't be shelved when Bell returns.
What I would say is I don't think we put him on the shelf by any means. When Le'Veon comes back, no way, shape, or form should James just say, okay, it's all yours. I'm going to sit back, and when you need me, use me. Then I will push for James to get as much run as we can, because we've seen some great things from him in all phases of football.
By the way, this is why I said don't bury the Steelers. It's very possible in 3 weeks we're going to have Antonio Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, the Washington kid, 2 Pro Bowlers O-line, Le'Veon Bell, the Connor kid, Big Ben. They're fine.
There's nothing to write off. That's for sure. That's silly. It's just a matter of, are they going to be able to get it rolling?
I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be fine.
The playoffs and be consistent.
They crushed Atlanta this weekend. It was not competitive. They literally willed their way over the Falcons.
I don't know how good Atlanta is this year.
Well, there's something.
But this is interesting, because there probably is some level of loyalty that's grown to James Conner based on the fact that he's been there and Le'Veon hasn't.
And he can, by the way, forget loyalty. He can play. He's not Le'Veon Bell, but he can play.
He's not Le'Veon Bell, though.
No.
You're not going to do running back by committee with Le'Veon Bell.
No, but he's good.
When Bell comes back, it's going to be his job. I'm sure they're going to work him in as far as the carries go, because he hasn't been there. But 2 weeks after he's been there consistently, it's going to be his job. Finally, entering Week 6, the Rams and the Chiefs are the last 2 undefeated teams, so expectations are high for both of them. BetOnline has posted the latest odds for either team going the entire season undefeated.
Oh, God, no. God, no. Rams aren't going undefeated.
Will the Rams or Chiefs go?
No, God, no. Rams will end up with 3 or 4. Rams haven't left the state of California until last weekend, and they struggle with Seattle. By the way, they also play each other. I think New England this week is kind of New England death by 1,000 cuts is the way to beat Kansas City.
That's the most interesting game this weekend.
4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards, and Mahomes sits on the sideline, and they have 37 minutes of time of possession, because Kansas City's defense, New England's going to do that 5-yard thing for 2.5, 3 hours. I think it'll be I kind of like Kansas City, but no way are these teams going unbeaten. By the way, if you were 14-0, you'd rest starters in most cases.
Right.
You wouldn't play guys.
You're not going to go for 16-0. We know the last team that did that was the Patriots, and we know how that season ended. And the only team to ever go undefeated and win the Super Bowl is, of course, the 72 Dolphins, which is outside of Marino.
Yeah.
You know,
it was a different time. It's easier then. It's hard.
It's easier.
Joy Taylor with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Line.
By the way, $40,000. Want it to pay off your high-end